Live from the Channel 4 studios in Boston, this is WBZ News at 6.
Boston police are investigating several violent incidents in the city overnight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken MacLeod.
And I'm Katie Brace. Thanks for joining us. As WBZ's Paul Burton explains, the violence comes just after a call by city leaders to search for new ways to tackle crime on the streets of Boston.
Another violent night as two people are shot in the streets of Boston. Investigators say around 9:30 last night, gunshots rang out in the area of Columbia Road and Geneva Ave. A man in his 30s was rushed to an area hospital but did not survive. This marked the city's 46th homicide of the year, slightly up from 1 year ago.
They're looking into who the shooters were last night, and look what the circumstances around each of those shootings are. We don't have all that spelled out right now.
Then early Saturday morning, another person was shot on Rockford Street. That person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The shootings come just hours after Boston city leaders hold a community meeting to address the recent increase of violence on the city streets. 5 people were killed over just 3 days last weekend.
We got to be better than this, and we are better than that as a city, and we do have to continue to reach out to people.
On Saturday, Mayor Marty Walsh took part in a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Vine Street Community Center, which just underwent a $5 million renovation. ASAD Hardwork says this place kept him off the streets and out of trouble.
It was my first experience as far as employment, my first experience as far as picking what sport I want to play, and it was here for me when I needed to have a focused place to do my homework.
I know it's frightening, and being here, it helps you to protect yourself and protect others.
It means so much for me to be here right now. I'm holding back tears, It's hard, because me, for instance, from coming from, the streets and actually coming here, it changed me, it made me to the man I am.
Police are still investigating both shootings. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
Police in Brockton are searching for a suspect in a stabbing. This happened at Frank's Restaurant on Pearl Street. They tell us a 49-year-old employee was stabbed. His injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening. The victim told police the suspect is a white man who was wearing a gray sweatsuit at the time. If you know anything, you're asked to give police a call. Lawrence Mayor Daniel Rivera says about 60% of the gas pipes in that city have been replaced after that massive gas explosion and fire. Work continues in the Merrimack Valley in hopes of trying to restore service to all customers in Lawrence, Andover, and North Andover by the target date of November 19th. Now, Columbia Gas has been ordered to stop all regular work across the state and focus on emergency restoration in the Merrimack Valley.
An American priest who was detained for 2 years in Turkey is back in the U.S. tonight, a day after he was released. Pastor Andrew Brunson met with President Trump at the White House today. Mr. Trump thanked the Turkish president for agreeing to release Brunson. The pastor then offered to pray with Mr. Trump, to which the president answered, quote, "I need it probably more than anyone else in this room." President Trump says there will be severe punishment if Saudi Arabia is found to be responsible for the suspected murder of a missing journalist. Turkish intelligence says there is evidence the Saudis were behind Jamal Khashoggi's murder inside the Saudi embassy in Turkey. But in his first 60 Minutes interview since taking office, Trump says we would be punishing ourselves if the U.S. cancels a planned arms sale to Saudi Arabia amid the Khashoggi mystery.
Would you consider imposing sanctions as a bipartisan group of senators have proposed?
Well, it depends on what the sanction is. I'll give you an example. They are ordering military equipment. Everybody in the world wanted that order. Russia wanted it. China wanted it. We wanted it. We got it, and we got all of it, every bit of it.
You can see the entire interview with President Trump tomorrow night, right after NFL football on WBZ.
17 deaths are now being blamed on Hurricane Michael, and officials still believe that number will go up as rescuers return to search demolished towns. Mexico Beach in Florida is among the hardest hit areas, with many roads still blocked by debris. Officials are using helicopters to reach stranded storm victims there. More than 250,000 customers remain without power in just the Florida Panhandle. A man in Maine is trying to get his stuff back as he was in Florida when someone placed a fake ad on Craigslist saying everything on his property was free and for the taking. People showed up and knocked down doors at his house north of Lewiston. They stole solar panels, lawn mowers, even the food from his fridge. Well, some have now realized it was a hoax and have come to return those goods.
I mean, there are some good people, but all it takes is one rotten apple, as Jesus said, to spoil the whole barrel.
His friends put up "keep out" signs, which eventually stopped the looters. The man thinks the person who posted the ad wants him to move. He hopes police will soon be able to catch a suspect. A hawk is free as a bird tonight after it got tangled up in a net in Sharon.
The fire department sent us these pictures of the hawk after it was rescued. A firefighter had to use a ladder to reach the bird, which somehow had become trapped in netting that was attached to a fence in the area of Tamarack Way. Local police and animal control officers also helped out. The hawk did not appear to be hurt during the ordeal, flying away right after it was released.
State police helped transport 3 horses after the trailer they were in got into a crash in I-93 in Woburn. Happened just after 8 o'clock this morning. The trailer was too damaged to be moved, so police called in their own horse trailer, usually assigned to the mounted unit. The 3 stranded horses were then taken to their destination. No animals or people were hurt in that crash.
Well, the Red Sox open the ALCS against the Houston Astros tonight over at Fenway.
Among those wishing the Sox luck tonight, members of the Patriots.
We just wanted to wish you guys the best of luck.
Good luck, Red Sox. Kick some butt out there.
Joe Kelly, see you on the sticks. Brock, Cycle, we want another one. And Price, let's go, buddy. We need you.
The Patriots host the Kansas City Chiefs at Gillette tomorrow night.
Well, after a rainy start to our Saturday, the sun definitely came out bright in many spots.
And hopefully it comes out tomorrow as well. Let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Wycoff.
Ken and Katie, we will see some sunshine heading into tomorrow, but that didn't keep us from staying chilly today. 54 for an afternoon high in Boston. Look at Worcester at 48, 50 degrees in Fitchburg. Some of the coolest temperatures we've seen all season. In fact, I'm trying to go through some of these records, potentially back to April, some of the coolest high temperatures in some areas. Our satellite and radar scanning completely dry right now for eastern Mass. We do have a couple of showers as you go into the Berkshires, maybe even a couple of snowflakes mixing on in some of the highest elevations. It's a clear and cold night tonight. There will be some patchy frost, especially west and north of town. 38 for an overnight low in Boston, mid to low 30s as you get away from town. The ocean doing a good job keeping at least the coastline somewhat warmer. Frost advisory in effect for much of Massachusetts, except for some of the coastlines. And then a freeze warning as you go into central New Hampshire, also into central Vermont. So it is going to be a cold night for sure. And we rebound back into the upper 50s and low 60s, 60 degrees as you go into Norwood, 59 in Boston, and 59 degrees in Hyannis. Now, as we go into the overnight, we do clear out very nicely, waking up with some sunshine for tomorrow. And we're going to keep some sun in the forecast for tomorrow, maybe a couple of clouds mixing in as we go into tomorrow afternoon. So here is our WBZ 7-day forecast. We do have some rain expected for Monday. By Tuesday into Wednesday, our temperatures back into the upper 50s. Look at Thursday, only getting into the middle 40s for afternoon highs and staying very fall-like heading into next weekend. Ken and Katie?
All right, thanks, Jacob, and thanks so much for logging on to CBSBoston.com.
We will have all the news for you tonight at 11 over on WBZ Channel 4 or at 8 on MyTV 38. Until then, hope you have a great evening.